The camera slipped from Mara's trembling hands. 24 years old, and she had never faced disaster like this. Her cousin Taryn had vanished 3 hours before the wedding, leaving her completely alone. Mara's heart pounded as panic rose inside her chest. She wasn't a professional photographer, not really. She'd learned a few basics from watching Taryn and helping with smaller events, but she had never been solely responsible for something this important. "I cannot handle this massive responsibility alone," Mara whispered, fighting tears. The Hawthorne family wedding demanded perfection and excellence. Every moment needed to be captured with artistic precision and care. Cade and Leela's wedding was the event of the year, and ruining it would destroy Taryn's reputation, and maybe even hers. She thought of Taryn's rushed words before leaving, her cousin's voice echoing in her ears. "Mara, please, just this once. My dream internship called me. This is my only chance. You know how to take pictures. You'll be fine." Then she'd run out the door without even waiting for an answer, leaving Mara standing in shock with a camera bag and a heart full of dread. Mara had no family left except Taryn. Her parents had died in a car accident when she was 16. Since then, her uncle had taken her in, and she'd been living with Taryn's family ever since. Taryn was wild and free-spirited, often dragging Mara along to her jobs, and that's how Mara had learned just enough photography to get by. But Mara's true dream had always been to become a painter, a real artist. She used to spend nights sketching by candlelight, saving every penny for art supplies, only to give up her dreams over and over because bills needed paying. Life had taught her survival first, dreams second. Now standing in the golden light of Cade and Leela's wedding, she felt like that scared 16-year-old again. Beckett Hawthorne noticed the young photographer's distress. The 32-year-old CEO had seen panic before, in business meetings, in his own mirror after heartbreak. His daughter Everly tugged at his tailored suit jacket, her wide eyes full of concern. "Daddy, the pretty lady looks very sad today." Mara adjusted her camera strap with shaking fingers. The golden afternoon light filtered through ancient trees, bathing the garden in a glow that should have been magical. Instead, her vision blurred with tears. She remembered her grandmother's words, spoken just 3 months before. "Sometimes life puts us exactly where we belong, dear," her grandmother had said softly before passing away. Those words echoed now, giving Mara a fragile thread of courage. Beckett approached carefully, his daughter beside him like a tiny guardian angel. "You seem overwhelmed," he said gently. "Can we help you somehow?" "My cousin disappeared and left me here alone. I've never photographed such an elegant event on my own." Everly stepped forward with the fearless boldness only a 6-year-old could have. "My daddy fixes everything that goes wrong." Mara managed a small, shaky smile despite her growing fears. "And what is your name, sweet little princess?" "I am Everly Hawthorne. This is my daddy." She beamed with pride, her innocence shining like sunlight breaking through clouds. Beckett felt something shift inside his guarded heart. This gentle photographer had a warmth he recognized. He'd been alone for 2 years, since his wife had left him for another man. Her betrayal had shattered him, leaving him to raise Everly by himself. Since then, he'd vowed never to let another woman close enough to hurt them again. But this woman, she was different. "Let me help you with the photography equipment," Beckett offered quietly, his strong hands steadying her trembling ones as he lifted a heavy bag. "Why would you help a complete stranger today?" Mara asked softly, confused by his kindness. He remembered his ex-wife's final cutting words before she left. "You're too serious, Beckett. I want a life with passion, with someone who truly sees me." He'd buried that hurt deep until this moment. "Because kindness costs nothing, but means everything," he replied simply. Mara blinked rapidly, then lifted her camera. With Beckett's steady presence nearby, she began capturing the wedding with new determination. She focused on small, intimate details, the way sunlight caught on a lace veil, the way a father's hand trembled as he gave his daughter away. Beckett watched quietly, amazed by her eye for beauty. "You see love in every single frame," he said with genuine admiration. "Love stories deserve to be remembered forever properly," Mara whispered, adjusting her lens. Everly had already claimed Mira as her special friend. She posed sweetly for candid shots, her laughter ringing through the garden like music. "Miss Mara, will you take my picture forever?" she asked with innocent hope. "As much as your daddy allows me to," Mara promised with a soft smile. Beckett's heart tightened. His daughter hadn't smiled this brightly since her mother walked out on them 2 years ago. The reception unfolded with elegance and grace. Mara captured Harrison and Marin Hawthorne, Beckett's parents, dancing together. 58 years of marriage glowed in their eyes. "They still look at each other lovingly," Mara murmured, pressing the shutter. "Some people are blessed with lifelong partnerships," Beckett said, his voice rough with longing. As the evening faded into starlight, Mara's exhaustion returned. She packed her equipment slowly, reluctant to leave this family who had shown her unexpected kindness. "Thank you," she said to Beckett, her gratitude sincere. "I couldn't have done this without you." Everly hugged Mara's legs tightly, clinging with a child's desperate affection. "Please don't leave us alone tonight," she pleaded. Beckett knelt beside his daughter, stroking her hair. "Miss Mara has her own life, sweetheart," he said gently. "But she makes you smile like Mommy did," she whispered, her innocence cutting straight through both adults' hearts. Mara's eyes filled with tears. This little girl saw the truth so clearly. The connection between her and Beckett wasn't imagined, it was real, fragile and growing stronger by the second. "Would you consider photographing more family events?" Beckett asked, vulnerability breaking through his usual control. He thought of his ex-wife again, of her accusations that he couldn't see beauty. But this woman did. She saw beauty in ordinary moments, and maybe she could see him too. "I would love to capture your family's memories," Mary replied softly, meeting his gaze with trembling hope. Everly clapped her small hands in pure delight. "Daddy, we found our missing puzzle piece today!" Beckett's heart stuttered. He looked at Mara, seeing not just a photographer, but a woman who might help heal the wounds he'd been hiding for so long. "Sometimes," he said, his voice low and full of meaning, "the most beautiful pictures happen when we least expect them to develop."